Yet to be determined in terms of programs.
Great. Thank you so much. Bob, you mentioned that you would manage the community center, and you said you would schedule programs and things that are going on. Who's paying for all this? Are there bills to pay, or is
This almost sounds like I placed Kathy in the audience to ask that question. As you all know, because there's been an enormously terrific meshing of Kiwanians and foundation people and other nonprofits in the community. In this community, we are very much together. Over time, we've relied on membership to fund the Foothills Community Foundation, FCF. As we proceed into this complex, it's pretty clear that we will no longer have to simply support that little storefront on Darlington Drive. We will now have to heat and cool an 8,500 square foot building and turn the lights on every day and turn them off every night. So we're staring right in the face the need for more dollars. This is not the moment or the time, but we are really working very hard on an appeal for the early fall to help us sort of get a grounding on running these expenses in a proper way. My hope is that as time goes on, people will see the benefit of having a community center and all that it brings to the community, and that it will be easier for us to fund. We also feel as we move into new programs, we need to get better at getting grants from those folks around the community, the total community, folks like Pulliam, Virginia Piper, to help us with our programs. I see a hand back there, but one other item. We had a community forum last Thursday night that Louise Rosenberg ran for us. We invited 100 nonprofits and community organizations to. We had a great response on the internet, ideas of what services are now being provided and what are the unmet needs in the community. 35 people came out last Thursday night to sit down and talk to us. It was really very stimulating, because these are the folks that are already working in the community. And very simply, we priority ordered 3 things that we're going to work on in the very early stages. The first, and I'm still squirming about what we call it, but folks in the school call it risky behaviors. And I think that comes under the whole notion of addictions, suicide, things that our kids are being subjected to every day of the week. Secondly, we know there's a need in this community, and I'm sure there are a number of us in here that have already tried it, to come up with really a central place for information. When someone new comes into the community, where do they go to get X service? Where do they go to get Y service? We think we now have the technology. Last year, we invested a lot of money in a program, software, to help us track this and work with this. So we have that on the way. And lastly, we have some ideas about how we can better work with families, how we can support parents better, how we can use the clergy locally to help us develop some programs to do that. So there are really so many things. I mean, it scares me, to be honest. Right now, we're trying to get the building open and get operating. But we already have a number of things on the menu that we really need to get to quickly. So thanks for the question, Kathy. We're going to need the dollars to do it. We're going to rent some of this space out, corporate rentals. We're going to be very good about local nonprofits and partners. And before I stop on this, just last week, we've been working on a relationship with Scottsdale Healthcare. Initially, they felt they wanted a contract. Last Thursday, we agreed. They told us we didn't need a contract. They had confidence in us, and they will be doing programs up here with us at least once a month. So we're really looking forward to their involvement. We've signed on with the Foothills Caring Corps to work with us. We are talking to others, as I said earlier, to do the same. So partnering is really a critical term as we go forward.
Thank you.
This morning's paper I read, the YMCA is currently offering a discount for membership, but it didn't list how much the dues were for membership. And secondly, for the college, I saw the rendition of what the current rooms are going to be. What does phase 2 look like?
The rates for the Desert Foothills Family YMCA have yet to be determined. We won't be able to sell memberships until sometime in July. The college and the foundation will open over a month, almost 2 months prior to the YMCA opening. We're looking at a late September opening date, so we don't know what those room rates will be. They'll probably be more reflective of our rates at the Shea location.
Which is what?
It just depends on the category. We have 17 different categories.
In response to your question about phase 2 of the college, as I stated, the master planning will not begin until January of 2010. We really don't know what it's going to look like. We have not a clue. There hasn't been a master plan done for that component. So that portion, along with the educational plan that we have to develop with it, starts in 2010. So that gives us a 2-year phase where we develop that plan, we then bid out with contractors and get all of that components done before construction is completed in fall 2012.
If I may, just to finish on that question, Mike and I have talked about this a good deal. He is expecting in the first year about 1,200 new members. Denise is desiring to put 800 students in this plan, and they open 90 days from now. August 22nd is the beginning of the fall semester. Mike and I have talked about discounts. FCF members will get a discount on the Y. Probably shouldn't say that publicly, Mike, but I'm sealing it up. We have done some early investigation, and I understand why Mike is staying away from it, because they have so many categories of membership. But I looked into it, and it's about $80 a month for a full family. As a matter of fact, because of that, I was tempted at our recent golf event at Mirabel Foundation golf event. I did the opening bid on a 6-month membership with the Y, thinking that people would follow me. Well, I won it. So I became Mike's first member, which is not a bad thing to be.
Anybody else have a question?
More questions? Well, thank you very much, Bob and Denise, for telling us all about the Black Mountain campus. Appreciate your coming today. Thank you. Next week is Barbara Hatch.